What's up, guys, and welcome to Down to the Wire. Today I'm going to be discussing NBA free agency and where I think each of the top 7 free agents are going to wind up. So the first free agent I want to get into is the one that I have the hardest time figuring out where I think he's going to go. And that's Kyrie Irving. So for Kyrie, up until a couple days ago, I would have been certain that he'd wind up signing with the Nets. But then the Nets offered him an ultimatum, saying that if he's not able to bring in Kevin Durant, the Nets would not be interested in blowing up their young core to bring him in. So because of that, let's look at the other options that he has. Number 1 would be the Knicks, because that has been the one that he's been linked with all season. The Nets have only been a recent linking. Next would be the Lakers, but I don't find this likely at all. I don't think that Kyrie Irving is going to go back to a team with LeBron James and have that narrative that he crawled back to LeBron, unable to bring a championship to Boston, follow him for the rest of his career. In all of this, my dark horse would be the 76ers. The 76ers need shooting. Ben Simmons can't hit a jump shot, let alone a three-pointer to save his life, and Joel Embiid's a post-up player. Kyrie Irving would fit with this team like a glove. It's a match made in heaven. They're already trying to acquire Kawhi Leonard, but if that doesn't work out, what's stopping them from going for Kyrie? If I was to put the likelihood of Kyrie Irving signing to the teams I mentioned before, it would look something like this. The favorites would be the Knicks at 40%. The Nets would follow at 30%. Followed by the 76ers at 15%, Lakers at 10%, and then 5% any other place. The next player I want to talk about is Boardman himself, Kawhi Leonard. Now, I think this is a pretty easy situation to predict, because there's 2 teams in this discussion. The first would be his current team, the Toronto Raptors, and number 2 would be the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I think this is a pretty easy decision to make. In Toronto, he'll not only have a city backing him completely, but a country. He can live out the rest of his life in Canada, if he so chooses, as a king, not having to pay for his apartment, his food, and any other service that you need to live a comfortable life in Toronto. Now, let's not sit here and pretend as though the Clippers are not a good destination. The Clippers team is very talented. They took the Golden State Warriors to a very competitive series in the first round, and have the cap to improve. So by adding a Kawhi Leonard, they'll definitely become a contender, if not the favorite in the West, and maybe the favorite to win the championship. Along with talent, they have a very good front office, Doc Rivers is head coach, and Jerry West is a special consultant. But they're so close to the Raptors in talent, besides Kawhi Leonard, because we're taking Kawhi Leonard out of this, that I believe that Kawhi Leonard is going to choose to stay in Toronto, live out his life as a king there, and stick with the team that brought him a ring, or the team that he brought a ring. So in conclusion, for Kawhi Leonard, I think it's going to be a 60-40 in favor of Toronto, with no other teams legitimately in the chase. For Kemba Walker, there's a few teams I think have a legitimate chance of getting him. I don't believe that he's going to re-sign back with the Hornets, because I don't think Michael Jordan's going to consider offering him a contract that he deserves based on the lack of playoff appearances they've made. So the teams that are in this race, I believe, are the Mavericks, the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Knicks. At the bottom, I think I would have the Celtics and the Lakers, because I don't think the Lakers are going to go the route of getting another superstar when they can improve their team by getting a smaller name free agents that can shoot better and get more shooters in general. And then for the Celtics, I don't think the Celtics are stupid enough to think if they didn't have success with Kyrie Irving, who's a better point guard than Kemba Walker, then getting another ball-dominant point guard in Kemba Walker would improve their team. So I don't think they're going to seriously pursue him. With the Lakers and the Celtics out of the way, this leaves us with the Knicks and the Mavericks. So for the Knicks, I believe this once again hinges on the fact that they might still receive Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. If they get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they won't have the cap space to get Kemba Walker, making this argument just not feasible. However, if they don't get Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, I think that this would be a very good option for the Knicks. They would still be receiving a big-name free agent, and they could keep their young core and not blow it up completely. But because this argument relies on another signing of another free agent, I would have to put the Mavericks first. The reason I put the Mavericks first is this. It makes the most sense. They are locking down Kristaps Porzingis as we speak, offering him a $158 million deal, and they already have Luka Doncic, Rookie of the Year. By adding Kemba Walker, not only would they be a playoff team, they would be, and I believe, a top 3 seed in the West. I think this makes the most sense for Kemba Walker, and I think it makes the most sense for the Mavericks, making it my number 1 spot. So, my percentages would look something like this. 40% for the Mavericks, 25% for the Knicks, 15% for the Lakers, 10% for the Celtics, and 10% for the Hornets or elsewhere. Next up is Klay Thompson. This is by far the easiest one I'm going to have to do today. With KD just declaring that he's entering free agency and becoming an unrestricted free agent, this is a no-brainer for the Warriors. The Warriors will sign Klay Thompson, lock him down for as many years as they can, regardless of the injury that he sustained in the finals. My final percentages for this are 90 Warriors, 10 elsewhere. Up next, we have one of my favorite players in the league, Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy Butler's game. He's an old-school player in a new player's body. He brings a tenacity on defense that's very rare now, and he's just an exciting player to watch. So where do I think he's going to wind up? I would have thought that he would wind up with the Celtics until recently. Much like Kyrie Irving, recent reports have been swaying my opinions. The newest report from sources have been saying that the Rockets are eyeing a sign-and-trade. And I think this is a very feasible move for the Rockets. While not entirely a free agency move, so we wouldn't be signing necessarily to the Rockets, I still think this is a valid option. I'll be including this in my percentages at the end. I think that there's 3 teams in the running. Sixers, Rockets, and Nets. Nets, once again, this all depends on if they get Kyrie or Kevin Durant. I still think Jimmy Butler and Kevin Durant would be a good pairing. However, I don't think it's as likely if they get Jimmy Butler to convince Kevin Durant to join the team. Next would be the 76ers, who Jimmy Butler has become their closer recently, especially in the playoffs and in regular season games. I think that Jimmy Butler is a very important part to that team, and I think the 76ers will want to keep him. And the Rockets deal is very feasible. I don't agree with it for the Rockets, because I don't think that adding another superstar is what the Rockets need to do. I think they need to change their scheme of James Harden just running iso ball in that offense every single possession to a more spread out concept where the ball gets passed around to the best shot, not here you go, James Harden, chuck this up and hopefully you make it. So I don't think Jimmy Butler will work there, but I think the Rockets are going to try to pursue him. My final percentages will look something like this. I have a dead even tie for the Rockets and 76ers at 40-40, and then I have the Nets at 15, and then 5% elsewhere. And second to last, we have D'Angelo Russell, a player whose praises I've been singing ever since the Nets acquired him back in 2017 from the Lakers. Russell, like many other players on this list, is in a situation where his final signing location may depend on where free agents such as Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving wind up signing. The Nets have already made him an offer, making him a restricted free agent. However, the Nets are probably more than likely to move off of him if it allows them to get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. If the Nets do in fact sign Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, what are some other locations that D'Angelo Russell could take his talents to? I believe there are 2 major ones. One is one that's been talked about, and that is a return to the Lakers, a team that traded him and wanted him out in the first place due to his lack of leadership early on in his career. The second is one that nobody's talking about, and that would be the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers one is obvious. Any free agent that has a possible link to the Lakers is being talked about frequently. That's just how it is when LeBron James is on a team. Would he fit? He would fit, but it would not be the best move for the team. The Lakers need to go for depth, much like the Rockets. Instead of working on signing another superstar, they need to work with what they have and improve it with other key role players. The reason the Suns, I believe, should be talked about more is because of the close friendship between Devin Booker and D'Angelo Russell. Adding D'Angelo Russell to this Phoenix team would work, I believe, very well. That Phoenix Suns team would quickly become one of the best backcourts in the league. And with a superstar in the making in DeAndre Ayton, I believe adding D'Angelo Russell would make the Suns a playoff team. When assigning percentages to the team's chances of landing D'Angelo Russell, I would give the Nets the benefit of the doubt with 45%, followed by the Lakers with 25%, with 15 to the Suns and 15 elsewhere. And now, let's get into Kevin Durant, the best player in free agency. Where I think he's going to go? Brooklyn, you better get a goddamn parade ready. I think he's heading to Brooklyn. I've been saying it all year. I said if he would not re-sign with the Lakers, which I think he should do, but if we're being realistic, I never thought he would wind up re-signing. If he didn't re-sign, he should go to the Nets. Here's why. The Nets are better in every feasible way than the Knicks. It is not even close roster-wise. Second of all, you don't have James Dolan, the Black Cat of New York, running around the Brooklyn Nets organization. With James Dolan as the head of the Knicks organization, the Knicks will always falter in the face of big-time scenarios. The Knicks have now become the Dallas Cowboys. They have now suffered under the head of their owner in the later stages of their franchise the same way the Dallas Cowboys have. And I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so me admitting this hurts me to my soul and core, but I know it is the right thing to say. Kevin Durant, if I have to put out a message to you, it would be this. Going to Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets fans will treat you the same or better than the Knicks fans. Because the Nets have never, ever had a player near your caliber. At least the Knicks had Ewing. The Nets have never had a caliber in recent memory, because Dr. J was amazing. But in the recent memory of any of their new fan base have had anybody close to your talent and ability. The Nets will worship Kevin Durant like a god. He will never have to pay for anything in New York ever again. And that goes to say even if he signs with the Knicks. But going to the Knicks over the Nets will be the mistake of his career. And Kyrie Irving wants to go to the Nets over the Knicks as well. Kyrie is from New Jersey. He grew up a Brooklyn Nets fan. Everything fits for this signing. The other options? The Knicks and the Clippers. I've already explained why I don't think the Knicks are a feasible option. And I'll explain why the Clippers are not as well. You do not, if you are a superstar such as Kevin Durant, wishing to overcome and surpass the image of LeBron James, sign into the city, into the team that have always lived in LeBron's shadow, unless you are able to bring a free agent of Kyrie Irving caliber, which is not going to happen because Kyrie has never ever been linked to the Clippers this whole season. Kevin Durant will not sign with the Clippers. There is, I believe, no feasible situation other than Kyrie's mind being 180 flipped to go to the Clippers that Kevin Durant will join the Clippers. Kevin Durant's decision has and always has been all season, despite what any other report has been, even though the majority have supported this theory, has been in New York. But not the one that we all thought early in the season. Kevin Durant will be a Brooklyn Net. Kyrie Irving will be a Brooklyn Net. That's what I believe, and that's why my percentages lie as this. I believe, and I'm going to go strong out on this, 75% for the Nets, 10 for the Knicks, and 15 elsewhere.